you can remember, do you remember how you found your very first commercial contract ever? And then also, is that the way that you get your contracts today?
Oh, Jesus.
Headed to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
So yeah, I could remember, and yeah, that's how we did it. I opened the yellow pages. I mean, like, it's a little bit more complex now, sure. But I opened the yellow pages. It was a bar called JD's Bar and Grill.
Okay.
No, JD's Bar. And I literally phoned the first one, got an appointment with him, sold him when I was there, and we started like that weekend.
Wow. Picking up the phone.
Yeah, it was just picking up the phone. Like I ran call centers, so I understood how to pick up the phone and I understood how to overcome objections. Like I built a little script out. So there was no like hesitation or nervousness on my part to do that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love it. And I tell you what, people with sales backgrounds, and if they ever come to entrepreneurship, they typically win. It's been a trend across the board from what I've seen. So, all right. What has been the hardest part for you as far as building your business?
I mean, probably dealing with my own limiting beliefs of how good I think I am. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if like I hit $1 million and I'm like, oh, really? Am I like, can I do 5 million?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't have enough belief in myself earlier on, so that I took too long to do the things that I was doing. So I'd want to move to doing this overseas appointment setting. And everybody in the company would be like, no, you can't do that. It's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have enough belief and confidence in myself. So it took me 2 years to pull the trigger to do it.
Yeah. No,
so
I made that
probably belief in myself.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I made that face when you said it because who told you to tell my dirty little secret? Like, me too.
Because you get stuck. Like you start hearing people around you. You're like, oh, can it be done? Can it be done? You're like, oh, I don't know. Like, and then when you finally decide, you're like, well, dude, I'm going to fail or succeed on my own merit anyway. So like, screw what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
Right. Like, dude, I got a pretty good track record of being right. And I actually think that no matter what you do, you will be right if you put enough energy and effort into it. Like you'll figure it out anyway. It might look only like 30% of what you originally hypothesized it was going to be, but like, dude, it'll work.
Yeah, I love it. All right, we're gonna pivot right here. We're gonna do what we call the lightning round. I'm gonna say a word or phrase, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. So here we go. All right, first word is Canada.
Poor government.
I remember you said something interesting about that. You said that something along those lines before when we went and at the CBN conference, and that threw me off because my perception of Canada, even though I've never been, has always been they got it figured out over there. And you mentioned something about the healthcare, and that's around my perception is they got it figured out over there. So that's interesting that you have that perspective. I don't know if we want to go into that more or not. But
yeah, I mean, just like no different than you guys. You guys have elections, and then one time you'll be Democrat, then you'll be Republican, and then and then all of a sudden the country gets good, and then everybody starts changing, and they're like, oh, we need more change, and then the country goes to shit, and then they're like, oh, we need, and that's just what's happening in Canada right now. We put somebody in that was very, very, they care more about like people pleasing than actually good policy that builds a country. And we're just feeling the ramifications of it now.
Say it perfectly. I know exactly what you mean. All right, entrepreneurship.
Oh, Jesus. First thing that comes to mind for entrepreneurship. Exhilarating.
I love it. All right. Next one is cleaning business.
Profit machine.
Nice. Okay. Your thoughts on social media?
Toxic for the mind.
Okay, I agree. It can be. All right. Which social media platform do you spend the most time on for leisure?
For leisure, none.
Okay, perfect. Which
I don't
social
even have
media
them on my phone.
There you go. There you go. All right. Which social media platform? Because I could speak on that for a while. But anyway, which social media platform do you use the most for business?
None.
Okay.
Like I'm on Instagram, I guess. So like I'll check it on my computer, and that's how I probably chat with people the most and how they find me. But like, yeah, I mean, if you're counting YouTube as a social media, which I don't feel like it is, then I'd probably say YouTube's the best out of any of them. And I spend most of my time on YouTube learning stuff. But
yep, same here. All right. If I needed to know one thing about moving to Canada before I did it, what would it be?
Don't. I mean, like now's not the time in any way at all, like to do it. I mean, everybody's thinking of leaving, so I would say don't. You know, okay. Like I just, not right now.
I can imagine.
Like we have some of the most expensive housing in the world.
Okay.
And there's no goddamn reason for it. Like there's zero good. Like there's none for what you can get in Florida or Texas compared to what you could get in Vancouver. You can get a mansion in Texas, and what you'll get here is like a 500,000 square foot home that looks like a crack house. Like it is. Just don't.
Okay, fair enough. And I'll make sure I show my daughter this part because she swears she wants to go to Canada for some reason.
You want to come up to Calgary and we could go see Banff in the mountains and ski? Come on up. Great place to visit. Very short periods of time. Come on up and I'll show you it all. But that's about all.
Okay, perfect. All right, cool. Are you looking to start your own cleaning company? Or maybe you started your cleaning company, but you just need a support group, some mentorship, some guidance. Hell, a bidding calculator just to help you know if you're pricing the job correctly. Join us at cleanbiznetwork.app. That's www.cleanbiznetwork.app today and get on the right track with your cleaning company. We have everything you could possibly need to get you going in the right direction and see why we've been the leading cleaning business consulting company for the past 5 years and why they call me, AJ Simmons, the cleaning business GOAT. So I can help you just like I've helped and my company has helped thousands of other people start and grow their cleaning companies. Go to the number one source today, www.cleanbiznetwork.app. Thank you. Key to success.
Skills.
Okay.
Just skills.
Favorite hobby when you got some free time?
Working out.
Okay.
Lifting weights.
Cool. Favorite YouTube channel or podcast other than this one?
Other than this one. Okay. Probably right now, Alex Hormozzi's.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. You know what? I used to nonstop. I watched him religiously, which by the way, he's the one. But only thing that kind of slowed me down from watching him as much is when he started dressing up the videos, putting all the editing up there. I don't like the editing. Just talk to me regular, straight, without all the bells and whistles and stuff. So it's hard for me to sit through the videos now.
You know what? I feel the same way. And like, I understand where he's coming from because he has a couple videos where he talks about like sitting down with Mr. Beast and all this, and they were showing him how to go broader on his audience.
Yeah.
Instead of just for the people who like the information, like me and you.
Yep.
I could like sit there and he's in a dark and dungy room and I could just hear him talk with terrible audio and bad video. And I'd be like, dude, that's a really good point, but that's not going to bring in a 17-year-old that's used to all these flashy things.
Yeah,
so literally. I think he's doing the right steps for him and his content. Is it as appealing to me? No, I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, 1,000%. And for the record, here I am saying that, but I started doing the same bullshit. So and there you go.
Dude, 100%. Yeah.
All right. Where am I? Best decision you've ever made in business so far?
Believing in me.
Nice. Okay. I think the next one is your favorite genre of music.
Oh, it really depends, but I would probably go Frank Sinatra.
Okay, bet. Frank Sinatra. So in that case,
we're talking about D. Martin, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr.
So here we go. That's because that was a follow-up question to wrap up the lightning round. Your top 5 artists all time. So Frank is in there.
Top 5 artists.
Yep,
Oh my god,
he's an
dude,
artist.
that is a difficult question.
Okay.
Rolling Stones, Frank Sinatra, Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, nice.
That's so difficult. What's his name? Can't even remember it now. Tom Petty.
Okay.
And probably AC/DC.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Solid top 5. So that'll wrap it up for the lightning round. People typically ask me this question, right? And they're trying to say, AJ, I want to expand to Atlanta. I want to open up another location in Atlanta. The person is doing $8,000 a month and they're in New York. And I'm like, well, why are you going? See, you already.
sorry. I kind of like jumped the gun there. Yeah, sorry. You're giving me more context. I'll wait to say anything.
Right. So I'm like, well, why would you do that when you haven't even fucking taken over New York yet? And so, or at least go next door to New Jersey. But to me, that's my logic. But you're expanding all over Canada. You've done it better than I have. So what would you say to that person?
I mean, master it in one area before you do anything complicated like that. Like there's no point to complicate it. We took over a city of 50,000 people. Then we went to the 3 cities surrounding it. They're like 2 or 3 hours away. Then we decimated that. So like the way I look at it is, what does your lead generation system look like? If you could only get $8,000 a month worth of contracts in a city that probably has 100,000 leads, to it, or businesses, your lead generation system's trash, and work on that first.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and your sales process. If you're in a city like the 50,000 city only had like 1,000 businesses. So like I decimated phoning all those, hammering on those very quickly. I didn't have a choice. I had to go somewhere else. I took everything I could from that market. Right. And then I could come back later on to it. And then we moved on to a different market. So that's what we tend to do. We'll go into a market, we'll hammer it, we'll burn it, we'll take everything from it, we'll give it a break for a little bit, we'll go to another city, hammer it, take everything we can from it, go back to a different city that we already did it in, and we just keep doing that over and over and over again.
Yeah, I love it. And perfect. That's all I'm gonna say. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would say. All right. What is your long-term goal? You kind of already said it anyway, but I guess I'll just feel so you can kind of reiterate it. What would be your long-term goal for your company?
40 million sale, probably an exit. That would just be it, right? I don't know if the industry is going to be around, and I could be totally wrong on that. The government can bring in a whole bunch of legislation around AI and all this stuff to protect people's jobs, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. Like, it would make sense for me to do, and maybe this industry ends up going on forever because of that. So, and I'd actually be okay with it. That'd be like the only time I'm okay with government intervention, right? Not just for my business, because it's going to put 30-40% of the population out of work. And then what do you do with those people? And those jobs are not coming back. Like, everybody thinks like, every time we have this technical advance, it creates more jobs. I'm like, not really. Like, maybe if when they created like the Ford line work and they brought all these people in, but once they started putting robots into those jobs, they started reducing the amount of jobs in there. So robots reduce it all. AI is going to reduce even people just working in an office.
Yeah.
Right. So like, there's already companies, and you could go on and look, and there's companies laying off 700 jobs, 1,000 jobs, putting on hold 2,000 jobs because of it. So like, so 40 is the exit I'm looking for, because if I do it in 4 or 5 years, the company that purchased it has 5 to 10 years to take it to 100 or 200 million. So they could get a good exit also on it. I think it's fair to everybody.
Yeah. You know what? All right. I'm going to go ahead and give you my theory on this, because we kind of spoke about it before. So here's my thing. And that's why I want to exit too, is because I think exactly what you think about the AI and the bots or whatever. And then I also think that it's going to get to a point you either better be rich as fuck before the Great Reset officially comes, or you just better settle for your government check because you're stuck. that's my honest to God belief, and that's kind of why I want to exit, because I'd rather be on the other side of it.
Yeah, 110%. But then you need to think all property will tank. All
Anyway,
property, because
yeah, it's really
30-40%, like everything
Yeah.
tanks, because if the government's only giving people $40,000, I'm just assuming it's $40,000. It could be more or less. Then that means everybody's living standards needs to be around $40,000.
Yep.
So the gap between rich and poor, there'll be no middle class anymore. There's barely a middle class now. It'll be like poor, rich.
Yep.
And the rich people can buy all the assets of the poor people, and those poor people, when I say poor, the ones that are collecting government check, are going to be, you know what I mean, at the mercy of everybody else.
Yeah, you're
right.
right. You rent, what
So
does they own nothing? And
it'll
you
be
rent
a
everything.
renters. Yeah.
Yeah.
A renters economy. Right. So you're right. I think that's the way it's looking, unless the government gets involved. And I'm not a big fan of government intervention, but I do understand that the government's role is to protect the people, and this is not protecting the people.
Yeah. 1,000%. And that's why I don't speak about it too much. I got a few videos, like maybe 2, where I spoke about all of this, but I try not to do it because it'll scare people who haven't even done anything to get started yet. And I'm like, no, still do it. Fucking start, because this is your chance. You damn sure ain't gonna save yourself at the job yet, at a regular job. I think you know what I mean? So it's like, best thing is go ahead.
I never even thought it scares them out of doing it. And this might be because I'm only looking at it through my frame. But like, I looked at it like, you don't understand. You have like 5 to 6 years, 5 to 10 years right now. So like, go. Yeah. So like, it's not the time where like, I think I'm going to start growing my company next year. I'm like, no, you have to like go now, because you got 10 years to like push it, make all the money, buy the house, do everything. Like, you have 10 years, go, man. Yep. Now is the time. We are on the last gold rush of how all this is going to work. And then it is going to change.
Yep. 1,000%.
Right. And I also feel like I talk about it a lot, and like, I feel like people think I'm trying to scare them, and I'm like, I'm really not trying to scare you, but like, I'm just being brutally honest on my opinion and where I think this is all going, and take it or leave it if you want.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Harmozy said a great analogy. He said, if you knew for a fact that Bitcoin was going to do what Bitcoin did, and you had a chance to get it at $1 when it was $1, wouldn't you have fucking screamed that out and told it to the world? And so it's like, the same 100%. Way that, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of like the same situation. Is like, we see where it's going. We know it. So I'm just trying to help you out. And I don't want to scare you, but here it is. And so I get it. I get it. All right, cool. So if you had to start all over again right now from zero, you lose everything, but you do still keep the knowledge that you have today, what would you do to get back to where you are today?
I'd probably do the exact same thing we're doing now. I cold call to get a contract. I get a contract, put a partner on the building. I create videos in order for them to train up so they could have their own business and learn how to grow. And then I would do that until I had enough money to hire an appointment setter. And then once I had an appointment setter, I would do that. I would keep hiring appointment setters until I couldn't do it anymore. So I would work all day during the day doing presentations, and at night I would do the service side of things. And then once that happened, I would replace me as a presenter, and then I would do the service side. And then as money came in, I would start adding to the service team and just rinse and repeat.
That's perfect. So if somebody's watching this or listening to this video right now, and they're thinking to themselves, okay, I think I want to start a business, or I want to start a business, but I'm just a little scared, what would you say to that person right now?
Fear is nothing more than a present concern over a potential future problem. So you just need to evaluate what your fear is and then make adjustments based on it. It usually means that you lack a skill set. So like, I'm scared is I don't know how to do sales, and I don't know how to do accounting, and I don't know how to register my business, is really what they're saying. Yeah. So you just need to go get the skill sets and then do it. That's all I would say. Like everything boils down to skill sets and action, skill sets and action, skill sets and action. That's it. Like everything.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, y'all. Mr. Peter Boland. I appreciate you for coming, Peter. How can the people follow your journey?
If you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on the Peter Boland on Instagram. We also have some YouTube videos up to help you guys out if you want to go check those out at Peter Boland.
There we go. Thanks again, Peter, for coming out. I appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you.